You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I am back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports. If you're new to the channel, punch subscribe, like, comment, share. Tell us what you think about this in the comment section. And it seems, and in case you have not been paying attention, these betting companies are swinging big for talent that has been on TV, already has reputations, and of course, they just lost a big fish in Pat McAfee, and I'm talking about FanDuel. A lot of these ESPN personalities like Trey Wingo, Kenny Mayne, gone to sports betting companies. Michelle Beadle, Sham Sharana, Kay Adams, gone to these sports betting companies. DraftKings has got Michael Lombardi, the GM Shuffle. Great show, by the way, on Pod. They got Dan Le Batard. Well, FanDuel is about to try to land the biggest fish that has been on the market in quite some time in any kind of sports commentary, and that is Shannon Sharpe. They are trying to get Shannon Sharpe to backfill Pat McAfee's slot and make up for that Pat McAfee loss. There's a lot of people that are chasing Shannon Sharpe right now, ESPN, but FanDuel has very deep pockets. That's why it was so puzzling as to why Pat McAfee chose to leave. He was getting $30 million a year, but all of his producing costs were probably coming out of his pocket, and ESPN's covering all that. But I can tell you right now, as we've talked about before, Pat will not see the viewership move over. But this may be a double dinger because Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay Shay Podcast would in all likelihood be sponsored by FanDuel. And it's probably very lucrative. My guess would be they would pay Shannon, I don't want to speculate, but my guess would be well over $10 million a year. I don't know, but they're trying to land the biggest fish on the market right now. Sports TV free agent Shannon Sharpe is in early talks with FanDuel, sources told Front Office Sports. This is Front Office Sports. The former co-host of FS1, Skip and Shannon Undisputed, has been in negotiations about potentially joining the FanDuel TV platform. By the way, DraftKings has Mike Golick and Mike Golick Jr. over there now, too, far as big fish that have landed in some of these betting arenas that are trying to turn into legitimate voices in sports. But the 54-year-old Sharpe has talked to several suitors since ending his 7-year partnership with Skip Bayless on FS1's morning debate show. He will likely have several options before he comes to a decision. ESPN's Stephen A. Smith has already invited the Pro Football Hall of Famer to join his rotating team of panelists on First Take. Would he really want to rotate? As big as his name is? Truly? I don't know if Shannon's going to be willing to rotate anywhere. If he's a permanent host, I could see that along with Stephen A. New ESPN hire Pat McAfee also said he'd love to see Sharpe join the worldwide leader. Sharpe dropped a coy tweet Monday that he will be back on morning television, quote, soon. The tweet has nearly 14,000 likes and 1.3 million views. A deal with FanDuel would make strategic sense for both Sharpe and the giant sports betting operator. The three-time Super Bowl winner needs to capitalize quickly with the kickoff of the 2023 NFL season. Less than 3 months away. Wow, we're less than 3 months away. Sharpe could also make his popular Club Shay Shay podcast, which has 1.2 million followers, part of any new deal. Quote, Shannon Sharpe does not want to sit out the football season, said one source. It's his bread and butter. Sharpe would instantly become one of the biggest stars for the new FanDuel TV and its FanDuel TV Plus streaming app. FanDuel TV has signed several big-name sports TV talents in less than a year, including former NFL Network host Kay Adams and ex-ESPN anchor Michelle Beadle. Sharpe is acquainted with FanDuel, attending their Super Bowl party this year and giving the brand a public shout-out on Instagram. So he already has a bit of a relationship there. FanDuel is also allows its talents to maximize their earning potentials via multiple opportunities. NBA insider Shams Charania, for example, co-hosts FanDuel's TV Run It Back with Beadle, Chandler Parsons, and Eddie Gonzalez, while also working for The Athletic and for Stadium. The betting operator has proven it's willing to throw big bucks at top talent. McAfee was pocketing an eye-opening $30 million per year from his partnership with FanDuel. They might not be the only deep-pocketed gambling company interested in Sharpe. Rival DraftKings has deals with Dan Le Batard and John Skipper's Meadowlark Media. Former ESPNers Kenny Mayne and Trey Wingo are working for Caesars Sportsbook. Meanwhile, FanDuel would love to make a big talent splash after losing McAfee to ESPN. McAfee will take his YouTube show to ESPN this fall. His weekday program will follow Mike Greenberg's Get Up and Smith's First Take. As a result, ESPN will likely cancel Max Kellerman's This Just In, opening an afternoon slot for the former Colts punter. And he goes on to talk about Skip Bayless looking at, believe it or not, ESPN's Kellerman, FS1's LaShawn McCoy, Emmanuel Acho, Joy Taylor, and Nick Wright. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know who among those names makes me excited to go on Undisputed. Of course, I really didn't watch that much anyway. Watched Pat. Actually, I listened to Pat on his podcast. The thing about it is the demographics that watch Pat McAfee Show likely not going to be the same ones that watch Shannon Sharpe. Maybe because if he ends up on YouTube and it's a live show and plus a podcast, and he's doing it live, and look, the thing about it is if Shannon's got a show, they've got to find him a good co-host. All right? I just don't see Shannon necessarily doing the solo thing. It's got to be some kind of debate scenario, I would guess, in the way Undisputed was, and that means back and forth with a big name. Michael Irvin, anybody, somebody give Michael Irvin an opportunity, because right now he's being blackballed. I mean, plain and simple. It's bullshit. So this is a big get if FanDuel lands Shannon Sharpe. The one thing I don't see happening is him doing ESPN and being able to do FanDuel, because I think if that could have happened, maybe Pat McAfee would have done that. In other words, we'll simulcast on ESPN, and you can also play on YouTube at the same time and keep FanDuel as a sponsor as well. ESPN wasn't having that, so I don't know that ESPN would allow Shannon to do that. My gut feeling is it's going to be one of these companies or ESPN. Key takeaway from what Shannon said, it's going to be a morning show. So that leads you to believe that maybe First Take, and let's be real, Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith, although it's probably not the same eyes as black and white sports supporters and what they want to watch, that would probably bring some actual ratings over to ESPN. I mean, it is what it is. A lot of people seem to love Shannon Sharpe, personally speaking. I mean, you know, the one thing that has always been a constant, in case you haven't noticed, with these successful debate shows, well, Skip Bayless was very successful with First Take, and he was very successful with Undisputed. The common denominator there, Skip Bayless. Whether anybody likes it or not, Skip Bayless has a massive following and a massive fan base, and I know people don't want to hear it, but you tune in whether you love or you hate Skip. That's the thing, and that is powerful. Tell me what you think, Black and White Sports supporters. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.